Morning, Cosumnes Oaks. My name is Danny Klinenberg, and welcome to the second annual Alumni Show, a Wolfpack TV special edition. Now, once a year, Wolfpack TV brings back 8 of our distinguished alumni to talk about life after CO. This year, we're doing something a little different. We have a live studio audience, and you guys can tweet in your own questions. Don't worry, teachers know you will not lose your phone. So if you guys have a question, just tweet us using hashtag COHS alumni, and your question might get on the show. Well, without further ado, let's get to know our studio audience.
Oh, my name is Tyler Gass, and I am pre-nursing at Fresno State.
My name is Nicholas Gordon, and I'm a media production major at Pepperdine University.
I'm Ben Marjat, and I'm a journalism major at the Arizona State University.
What's up, guys? My name's Ciarra, and I'm a psychology major at UC Berkeley. However, first, I did a semester at CRC.
My name's Ashley Weiss, and I'm in Americorps National Civilian Community Corps.
I'm Ryan Kageyama, and I'm a civil engineer major at UCLA.
I'm Andrea Haro. I'm undecided at UC Berkeley.
I'm Tori Winslow. I'm a biochemistry major at UC San Diego.
Well, thank you guys all for coming. So let's start with you, Ben. How is it to be back at CO?
It's a little weird to be back on campus, walking around, parking in the student parking lot, but I like it. It's good to be back and see some of the friends and teachers that it was so fun to go through 4 years with here.
All right, Tori, Ryan, can you guys tell us a little bit of the differences between high school and college?
To me, one of the main differences with college is that in high school, you go to school for like 6 hours at a time and then go home and do your homework. But in college, you go to class for maybe an hour or two, and then you have time to study or do homework or do something else, like at the library or in your dorm in between classes, and then you go to another class for an hour or two. And you just have a lot of extra time in between classes instead of going to them back to back.
Yeah, to add on with that, you have a lot of freedom. You can study whenever you want. You can go pretty much do whatever you want when you want. And you have the freedom to choose when your classes are. And it's just a lot more, it's a little different than high school. And everything's structured here. When you go to college, you're on your own pretty much.
All right, Ashley, now I know you didn't go to college. You're doing Americorps, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
I'm in a program called NCCC, and we're a group of 18 to 24-year-olds that travel around whatever region you're based in. So I'm based in Denver, Colorado, and I travel the Southwest region. We just do community service type stuff. We can tutor kids. We can help build homes. We do a lot of environmental stuff, disaster relief. Some of our teams are going to the Hurricane Sandy sites, so it's really fun.
So why did you choose to do Americorps?
I didn't really know what I wanted to do after I got out of high school. And I knew that I wanted to help people. I wanted to travel before I went to college. And they also give you a grant of $5,500 to go to college once you're done. So there's perks of the program.
All right, now Ben, you're at ASU, right?
Yeah.
Now that's 55,000 people. That's one of the biggest colleges in all of the United States. Do you get dwarfed? I mean, how is it to be surrounded by so many people?
It's actually a few more when you count in all the graduate students. But I'm actually at the downtown campus, which is a little bit smaller. There's about 13,000 living at downtown. But when I do go to Tempe, it is kind of overwhelming just because the campus is so huge. I mean, I can wake up and go 5 minutes from my bed to class, but there at the Tempe campus, it's like 30 minutes to walk across campus. And so you do feel kind of like one in this big university. But I've been finding ways to kind of individualize that and make sure that I'm standing out.
All right, now we have our first live question. All right, now this is for all you guys. Ciarra, how about you start? How do you guys make friends in college? What do you guys do to get involved?
Well, like my situation was a little bit different. Like I said, because I did a semester here. But for me, like what I'd say the most important thing is most of my friends have pledged sororities or fraternities, but also join clubs. Like when I go to Berkeley, my first goal is to join the track team. Then I'm also gonna like get involved in like all the Christian communities and stuff like that. Get involved in things you love, and that way you're around people with similar interests, and so you can kind of like make those like everlasting friendship bonds. But if you kind of like stay in your own shell, it's not gonna work out. So you really have to like make that effort to put yourself out there and make good friends. So.
Honestly, just go for it. Everyone's like just as like sketchy as you about talking to people. I've not to make friends in so long, and it was really weird at first. And I was like, I'm Tyler. Like, and everyone's just like, all right. But no, you think like everyone would be sketch, but everyone's like nervous too. Everyone's like, oh, what's up? And yeah, you just got to be like outgoing. Talk to everybody your first day there. Meet the people that live around you. And yeah, it'll make it way easier to make friends.
Oh, and study groups. Study groups are a great way to make friends. Like, cause no one in their like your first classes, no one knows what they're doing anyway. So like, just make friends and like go study with them. Like, it's such a good way to create bonds. So.
And I think an important thing to remember is that everyone's kind of in the same place. Everyone doesn't really know a lot of people, and you're kind of all in this new environment. So everyone's going to want to make friends. So when you do put yourself out there, like Tyler said, it's not like you're going to be embarrassed or anything because everyone needs to make friends. It's not just you who has that problem.
I would say one like kind of tangible thing that you can do is just like actually like leave your door open, especially in like the first week or two, because people are going to be walking by, meeting people, just walking around your hall or whatever, and they'll stop by and want to talk to you, and that's just a really easy, tangible thing that you can do to make sure that you meet new people.
All right. Guys, when did you know which college you wanted to go to? Tori?
Well, for me, I applied to a couple different colleges. I visited a couple different colleges, and it's really the visit to me that I think sold it. Because when you visit the college, especially if there's students in session, you can really get a feel for what it's like to live there and to be there. And for me, it was just kind of a clear choice because I felt like I fit in at UC San Diego, and I liked the weather, I liked the placement of the campus, and everyone I met there just seemed great. So I just knew that I fit in there.
No, yeah, I totally agree with Tori. Like, it's the visit for sure. Cause I like a lot of my classmates, cause a lot of people here like got into multiple schools, like a lot of you guys. And so it kind of gets overwhelming, and like your friends will give you like everyone will have their input. Like it's gonna like everyone will have their input. Like someone will come up to you and be like UCLA, and then someone will be like UC Berkeley, and they'll like show you their mascot and like their shirts and their memories. They'll tell you that they're the best memories. And so for me, like it was definitely the visit, and it's well worth the wait. Like when you find the school you want, so it's really good.
All right, Andrea, you've been pretty quiet. So what has surprised you about college? Is there any disappointments? Any things that you just love?
Okay, well, like for coming from like CO, especially like somewhere small and where I was like super involved, to like Berkeley, like I had to really learn how to get out of my shell and like put myself out there and join all these clubs and do all these things, because that was one of the things when I got there. I was like, oh no, like I'm like nobody here. Like I needed I needed to feel like important to myself. But like, so I joined all these clubs and I did all these things. But one of the things that's really different about Berkeley is like people don't have cars. Some like, well, students don't. So like there's a lot of walking. So that's one of the things I kind of miss here is like, you know, driving to the store or something, because there's not like a Target or anything really nearby.
All right, Ben, what do you do to become a journalism major?
So I'm a journalism major in the Cronkite School, obviously, and so I actually had to apply separately to the Cronkite School, and it's a little bit higher requirements. And I don't remember exactly what the like basic requirements are for getting into the Cronkite School, but now that I'm in the Cronkite School, I've gotten involved with a few different organizations. I'm doing Blaze Radio, calling sports games, and I'm trying out for a sports show next semester. And I'm also working with the Walter Cronkite Sports Network, writing stories about, you know, our sports teams, and also covering ASU sports, hockey, baseball, basketball, things like that.
Speaking of sports, how are sports in college? Are they bigger? Are they smaller, Nick?
They're pretty awesome, to be honest. At UCLA, we had the #1 high school basketball recruit, Shabazz Muhammad.
Oh, gosh.
And the UCLA basketball is pretty much hyped up. They have a new Poly Pavilion.
Muhammad.
That was like the coolest part about going to UCLA for me.
Yeah, for Berkeley, I love like going to the football games. Like we just got a new stadium, and it's like huge and it's awesome. And one of my favorite games was actually against UCLA when we beat them.
That was a total fluke.
No, it was a really good game, and it was one of the funnest games because every play we have a different like chant we do, and we have like the rally directors up there, and we have our band is awesome, and we have, I don't know, it's like game days are amazing. I love it.
Berkeley got lucky.
I'd like to point out one thing. If ASU had won the game against UCLA, they lost by 2 points. If they had won that game, they would have been in the Pac-12 South Championship, or the Pac-12 Championship.
That's too bad.
Representing the South.
Cow.
All right, now, Nick, you're at private school, right? For everyone who doesn't know, Pepperdine is a private school. So why did you choose to go to private? Was there anything about it that appealed?
It actually ended up being a lot cheaper for me than the state schools because obviously state schools don't have as much funding because of our wonderful budget in California. And private schools, although they have a ticket price that's more expensive, a lot of times they have more financial aid available for students because they have more donors and they have more donations coming in, and they have more money to use and larger endowments. So it did end up being a lot cheaper for me than other schools that I applied to, even the state schools.
All right, we have our first live question from the audience from Mr. Derek Sarai. So Derek, what do you have to say?
Well, I know like Marcus Rios goes to UCLA, but do any of you guys see like people you know from CO on campus at all? Like, do you still like, if you see someone from CO, do you still like hang out with them at all or anything?
I think there's 3 other people from CO that go to UCSD, and I actually have one of them in my chemistry class, so like that's kind of fun because I know somebody in my class, but otherwise it's kind of different because actually I expected like, oh, if I know somebody, you know, then I'll have a friend, like I'll be able to see them and stuff, but actually like in college you don't really necessarily see everybody all the time, and so like you become closer friends with the people that you live with and the people that you're around more often. So even though you know, I know a couple of people on campus, I don't necessarily like hang out with them all the time.
Yeah, there's like 5 other people I think from the school, and I've like seen one of them once, like from across the room or something. But like, yeah, like you don't really super see them. But when I do like say hi and talk to them for a little bit.
I still hang out with people that go to CO, and I see Marcus Rios once in a while. I work in his dorm building, so whenever I see him, I try and say what's up because he's with all the football guys, and trying to
Trying to get cool.
yeah, trying to get
Well, like going to JC first, like you will see them all the time. Like it is like I don't know, like just
Like,
seeing
your
like
whole
flies.
class is
Like you
like
see them all the
CO.
time, but like for me, like I was not trying to go back to high school, so I definitely like ducking and diving around people I knew a lot. But they'd always see me, but I was trying to like dip out really fast. So you'll see them all the time, but if you're quick, they won't see you. That's kind of advice there.
I think a good thing kind of is, like for me, because no one else from Cosumnes Oaks went to my school, and only one other person from the Elk Grove Unified School District went to my school. And I think that's kind of cool because, again, everyone's in the same place, so it gives you the opportunity to make friends with different people. Like I have friends from Texas, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're from Texas. I don't know.
Ashley, how was it being away from home?
It's weird not like having my mom around all the time, and I had my first birthday away from home, and that was pretty crazy. But I mean, it's kind of nice to explore and be on your own and not have to be like, hey mom, I'm going here. But it's fun. I think it's fun.
Do we have any questions in the audience? All right, so guys, I have a question for you, Ciarra, Nick. You guys took honors classes in high school. We all know that AP classes relate well to college, but do honors classes really help?
Honors.
Well,
I will say I don't know about honors, like, but AP, like for sure, like for my culture anthropology class, like shout out to Ms. Rose because AP English, like for real, like got me through that. Like I did great on my essays, and AP Psych got me out of a lot of units. So like AP classes, yes, like they get you out of like crazy amount of units. And they do like in my AP Stats class, shout out to Ms. Boyd because I'm actually pretty good at that now. Like they'll like set you up AP classes, but honors classes, like honestly, probably not.
yeah, and
Sorry.
the good thing about AP classes also, like for example, AP US History with Mr. Garcia, he taught it as a lecture style, which a lot of classes when you're in college are going to be like a lecture. So you're going to be sitting there and your teacher's going to be talking in front of you. And sometimes you're tempted to go to sleep, but you don't want to go to sleep because you need to learn that stuff. Otherwise, you're going to fail the class and fail out of school and probably die.
Oh, the thing about lectures is you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. Like you can just go to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
you just
I thought
leave.
That was the coolest thing ever. Like I was like, I can just go pee.
Yeah.
So
In the bathroom.
that's the best thing about
Not
lectures.
like in the lecture.
Nothing else. Best thing about college, free bathroom. Breaks.
One thing also to add about AP classes is they kind of mentioned it also is that when you pass an AP test, you get college credit. And a lot of times, I know at my school, you register for classes based on how many units you have. So since I got units from AP tests that I took, I had an earlier registration time, so I got classes that I wanted a little bit more easily. So that's something also to keep in mind, a benefit to taking AP classes.
And they really benefit, and you really benefit from passing the AP test because you opt out of classes. Like, shout out to Mr. Shottle, I passed out of Calculus 2. And now I'm in even further math, but even for engineer, I have to take a lot. So I'm like a quarter of a way done just from passing AP Calculus.
And I think that AP classes, even if you don't pass them, but they set like a good foundation for you when you go to college. Because like calculus in college, like he just taught it so fast. But since I took it in high school, like with Mr. Shottle, I like knew what they were talking about a little bit, so I had a better foundation. So that's what really helped to me.
I think also pay attention and make sure that you study for your AP tests because a lot of colleges, you don't get credit unless you get a 5 or a 4. You don't get credit with a 3. And even though a 3 is passing, a lot of colleges don't give you the class credit for a 3. So make sure that you're not trying to get a 3, you're trying to get more than a 3 if you are taking AP tests.
Yeah, I remember last year I took the Gov test, and it was kind of a senior year was winding down, and I was slacking a little bit. Sorry, Miss Siba, but I got a 3, and so now I'm probably taking government next semester if I don't pass this other test that I have to take. And then I'm also taking stats because I didn't take that because that was the morning of sober grad night. So take your AP tests and do well.
Yeah.
So other than being able to go to the bathroom whenever you want, Andrea, Ben, what are the differences between high school and college professors?
Well, it's what you make of it, because they can seem really unapproachable because, they're up there and you're up here with 400 students, that's what in one of my math classes. But if you go up to them and take the time to go talk to them, they're actually not that scary. Go to their office hours. Every professor has office hours, and I went to my ethnic studies professor almost every week, and she got to know my name. So in class, she knew my name. But yeah, definitely take the time to do that with professors. They're not that scary.
Yeah, I had only actually one big lecture class with 150 kids. A lot of my other classes were actually pretty small. But yeah, like Andrea said, make sure to go to office hours. I took every single English paper that I wrote, which was 6 in the semester, to office hours, and she helped me work through a lot of those issues that I was trying to fix and do much better in the class. So.
In college, there's also things called GSIs. So you go to lecture, you go to professor.
Graduate student
Yeah,
interns.
sorry. Yeah, so they're TAs. They teach your discussion. So if you have a huge lecture of 400 people, for my math class, you also have an hour another day of discussion where your GSI goes over the homework or talks to them. So that's someone else you can go to for help.
And go to discussions when you're in college. Don't skip them because they're not mandatory usually, and they're really helpful. And just don't skip them. That's my advice.
And don't skip lectures.
Yeah.
Because a lot of students in my classes I don't care how easy my class is. I'm gonna be at every class and I'm gonna be at every lecture because your teacher needs to see you, especially if you have a borderline grade. If you're trying to get that A, if you've been at office hours, you've been in your lectures, and you've been an avid learner and stuff. Your teacher's more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt and work with you. But if you don't show up to lectures, it's kind of it's not like you're telling the professor that they're not worth your time. But it's really respectful. Just go to your classes. Don't even if you have the option because you're an adult, but don't skip your classes.
Yeah, that's a big thing because they don't take roll in college. In those big classes, and you're tempted not to go to the class, which ends up being bad for you. And also, you're paying for that class with your tuition. So, I mean, if you're paying a certain amount of tuition and you're paying for that class, why would you not go to something you're paying for?
Okay, we have a live studio question right over here. So, all right.
Did any of you guys get a scholarship? And if so, what did you do to earn it?
I guess I'll start. For me, financial aid helped me get a lot of money too. But I got scholarships through financial aid, and then I did the Elk Grove Community Foundation. I think a lot of us did.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you want to get a scholarship, you have to be just be well-rounded, get involved in high school, take your AP classes, go on a sports team, then force your way into being captain, just do stuff like that. And it really works out well. So they just seeing leadership and stuff. And there's so many scholarships. There are so many.
Yeah.
This summer just being there's Latino scholarships, Black scholarships, Asian American scholarships, scholarships for having divorced parents, just everything. So go online and sift through them because there's one for all of you.
Yeah, and a lot of schools also, at least it might be a little different for me because I went to a private school. So again, it has a little bit more funding than say the state schools and public schools, and they offer their own scholarships sometimes. And a lot of people don't know that schools do look for well-rounded. They don't only look at your test scores and your GPA. They want to see that their students either played sports or were involved in their school and did stuff with the community and did community service. Community service is also a big thing. And it's not just GPA. They also look at test scores. And SAT and ACT scores are really important.
Take subject tests. They help out a lot, actually.
Okay. To your guys' knowledge, what are the main differences between private schools and a regular state college?
Well, state schools, for UCs, the professors I know are geared more towards research than actually teaching. So that's one big difference. All of my professors, they're all big on research. And that's one of the big differences, I think, between UC and private. Sorry.
And I mean, I've never been to a public school, so I can't really contemplate. But at a private school, they're generally a lot smaller than the public schools. So I mean, Arizona State has 50,000 people. The UCs have 30 to 40,000 people, and my school has 3,200. I think at a private school, you do have less people. It's more like a small campus, and you can kind of get to know everyone on campus.
Yeah, I would say class size, what you're comfortable with. Like,
Yeah.
when I went to visit Pepperdine, I sat in a psych class there, and it was probably like 30 students. Then I sat in a psych class at Berkeley, it was probably like 80 students. So it's how you're comfortable learning. Like, if you feel like you really need that one-on-one connection with the teacher, maybe a private school is for you. Maybe you have private school money, maybe a private school is for you. So it's kind of like, look at that.
Also though, like seriously, my classes, I'm actually in the honors college at ASU, so a lot of my classes are really small. My human event, which is like philosophy and literature, and it's horrible, that's like 15 people. My Spanish class is 15. My English class was like about 15. And my math class was a little bigger. My journalism class was a little bit bigger. But seriously, most of my classes weren't those huge lectures. I only had one big lecture class.
That sounds so nice. I had 300 in each of my classes.
Wow.
Same here.
And I had 501. So.
Yeah. My smallest class was my Spanish class. And going back to like attendance and like language classes, because those are like people want them, they do take attendance in there. And if you like miss like more than 3 or something, your grade goes down like 2% every time.
And in one of my classes, there's so many students. Me and my friend actually had to sit in the aisle area, not in a seat, because there were so many people and it was overflowing. Because not just the students who are in the class go in, all the waitlisted students go in and sit in and wait for people to drop. So I sat on the floor for a good 2 lectures.
Don't be super intimidated though by hearing us say that there's classes that are like 300, 400 people, because honestly it's not that bad. Like sitting in a class, you still hear the lecture perfectly fine. You can see what they're doing in the front of the classroom. And then like Andrea said earlier, you have discussions which are like outside of the class a different time during the week. And those are smaller, like maybe 30 students or so. And those are definitely a more intimate place where you can ask questions and get clarification. And then also office hours, you can get to know your professor pretty well. So being in classes that big may sound like, oh my gosh, that's so many people, but it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Oh, one of the things that's really different is here we have like whiteboards. Over there they use like chalkboards.
Yeah.
They have to like erase it, but it's good because it makes them, it makes them,
difference.
yeah, huge difference. It is. And then they have like chalk on their pants, but it makes them slow down. It makes them slow down, so it's good.
All right, we have a live question from Peter. So Peter.
Tyler, what kind of SAT scores did you need to get into your university?
I got an 1840, but you don't need that to get into Fresno State. Yeah, okay, it sounds bad because I go to Fresno State, but I don't know, man, probably like 1,400 to like 1,700. But that's okay. Settle down, UC guys. I go to Fresno State, chill. Like Fresno State. Honestly, there's some dumb kids at my school. I don't know how they got in. Like I don't know. Like, yeah, sorry, because I can like see some of the things they do, and it's like, come on, guys. We go to college together. What are we doing out here? But yeah, Fresno State. Don't be tripping. You most likely got it.
Yeah, honestly, it's not just SAT scores, because there's people that they probably, I don't know them, but they probably got 1,500, and that's you're fine. It's everything else, honestly. What you do in school, all of that looks so much better than just a score on a paper. Honestly. So if you're really worried about your SAT scores, don't be extremely worried, because that's not going to make the final decision.
Yeah, my roommate got a 1420, and he's at UCLA, so.
No, yeah, it's honestly how well-rounded you are, because I don't know, it's really frustrating to me when I hear students GPA and SAT scores, because I know people who got 2400s and didn't get into Stanford. So it's I don't know, it's really being well-rounded, and I think sometimes it's a cop-out for students. They can say they don't need to be involved because of their grades, but you really need to be involved and be well-rounded. I only got a 1700, but I had a lot of other things on my application that got me into every college I ever wanted. So I don't know, just really be well-rounded and put yourself out there. Don't use your grades as an excuse to never go out and put yourself out there, because you're selling yourself short and you're not going to get into where you want.
Yeah, and going along with that, don't be worried or scared about applying to a college because you see that, say, their average SAT score is very high. I mean, at Pepperdine, our average SAT score is 2030, but that means that 50% of the people got below and 50% got above. It doesn't mean that everyone got a 2030. It means that some people could have gotten a 1500 because, again, with an average, 50% have less than that and 50% have more. So that it's not like it's a requirement when you see a test score for a college.
All right, this is for you UC guys. Can you get into UC if you don't take honors in AP? Andrea?
Oh, I'm not an admissions person, but like we were saying, like it's just everything else you have. If you show them that you work hard and that you're dedicated and you have a goal, they love to see that. Like honestly, my roommates, they didn't get like really high SAT scores. I mean, they did really well in school and they tried. Like it's honestly how much effort you show them you're putting into like what you can do and what your goals are in life. That's what they like to see.
Like I went to Berkeley. They have like a weekend after you get in called Bridges Senior Weekend. Did you go?
No.
And so like it's mostly for students of color, like Latino, Asian American, African American. And a lot of students I met, like they were from, like a lot of students were from like lower districts and like poorer districts. And so also UC's take that into consideration is where you're from and the struggles and hardships you have. And so it's putting in that maximum effort there because some of their schools didn't even offer those things. So you don't always need them, but Elko school districts is really high regarded. So you're gonna have to like really put in a lot of effort when you're in this district.
All right, we have another live question over here from Olivia. Olivia?
Do you guys prefer early classes or late classes?
Oh, late classes. Late classes.
Okay.
No, please.
Okay, I had 8 a.m. classes every single day. But I mean, you guys come to school every single day, but it's like different. It's like different in college because it's different. Because I'd like go to class, come back, I'd go at 8 to 9, 9 to 10, come back, and my roommates were still sleeping, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I was really tired, but actually, like now that I think about it, it's good that I had like early classes because it makes you get up and like start your day. Because like when I didn't, like at the end there at like dead week and like finals, like I could get up at 10, but like kind of wasted my day. So. I don't know, maybe like 9 o'clock. I have 9 o'clock classes next term.
I was
so.
exactly the same. I had an 8 a.m. every single day, except for Wednesdays. But then I ended up with 8 a.m. work on Wednesdays. So I had an 8 a.m. every single day, and it was just like high school. And I was like, oh, why can't I sleep in? I have to wake up at 7:45. But looking back on it, I actually really liked it. Not because I got enough sleep, but because in the afternoons and at night, I had time to do homework. I had time to study. I had time to hang out with people. And I think that it's a lot better to kind of get up and get all your classes done and then just have the rest of the day to do whatever you need to do than to sleep until 10, go to class, and then only have a few hours to do what you need to do.
Late classes are definitely better.
Yeah.
I had one 8 a.m. and it was a mandatory discussion and I hated it. And waking up at 7 o'clock, and it's like, how did I do this in high school?
Oh.
I had a 9 a.m. and I was perpetually late to that class, like habitually. Like I was late probably every time I had a class. So
okay.
I have a 9 a.m. next semester, so I'm not looking forward to it.
In Berkeley, you have like Berkeley time, so if it starts at 8, it actually starts at 8:10. So, so I'd leave like my dorm at like at 8:02, and I just walk really, really fast.
It takes me a half hour to walk.
Yeah, no, I don't have like dorms on campus, but I can still get to campus pretty easily.
Yeah, it takes a while to walk.
I would say if you're gonna take I have 7:30 class twice a week. If you're gonna take one at 7:30 or 8, make sure it's not Spanish, because waking up, or any foreign language, waking up and turning on your foreign language brain at that early is a really hard thing to do. So.
Ben, what's the big difference between Wolfpack TV and the Walter Cronkite School of Media?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I want to say there's like at least 5,000 kids in the Cronkite School of Journalism, and it's, I think, the biggest major on the downtown campus. So it's really big, and there's a lot of kids trying to get involved, but there's a lot of different organizations. I'm involved with 2, like 3 I'm working on, that third one next semester. I'm doing radio, I'm doing online stuff, and I'm doing a little bit of broadcast and writing stuff too. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved.
Ashley, so what projects have you done so far for Americorps?
My first round, I was in Flagstaff, Arizona. There was a double fence line, and it was preventing animals from getting across the road. So we took down a barbed wire fence, and we had to pull posts, we had to roll the barbed wire, and then we also had to help weatherize a building. So that included like digging out a trench around like this visitor center, and we had to move historical rocks because most of the places around there are historical places like pueblos and stuff for the old Hopi culture. So.
And what kind of people do you recommend for Americorps?
People that want to help other people, people that believe in just working to help restore what we have in in our country. So like it could be helping to restore like education or buildings, anything like that.
Tyler, do you have a
I
question?
have a question for Ashley. What do you classify as a historical rock? I was like, wait, what are you talking about right now?
So we have like in Flagstaff, there's a lot of like the Hopi culture, like the reservations are really close. So we can't touch any rocks that are on the floor.
Really?
Because like if anything has been sitting there for over 50 years, even like a piece of trash, it's historical. So, and like we walked up some of these like old pueblos, and there's like arrowheads, there's pottery, there's stuff all over the floor. You're not allowed to touch it. It's just, you're not allowed. And there's like petroglyphs and stuff, you're just not allowed to touch those.
Thank you. I was just wondering, that's not good.
This question is for Ashley. It's, like, actually it's for all of us, actually. Okay, but like.
You can ask her some questions. You're probably going to answer it.
No one's addressed it, and it's important. Okay, like, guys, comment on the fact that homework's different. Like, we don't get like daily homework, but like midterms, papers, and finals, because I think they should know that it's not going to be daily homework.
I don't have homework.
I think at UC's mainly, you don't really have homework. It depends on your professor. But for my math class, they gave us a sheet of paper that had I had homework problems for the whole quarter, but we didn't have to do any of it. He said it wasn't mandatory. We didn't turn it in. But for the midterms, usually have like around 2 midterms, maybe a final paper or something. But the homework, there generally is none, I'd have to say. But studying on your own is where your homework really comes from.
Yeah, the big thing is that, I mean, when you're here, you have all these homework assignments, you have weighted grades, everything is structured. In college, my sociology class, I had 2 midterms and a final that was all my grade. So I didn't have to do homework, I didn't have to read my textbook, but your homework really is reading the textbook and studying, because the only way to get your grade is to take the test and to do good on it, because you don't have homework assignments or little things to bring your grade up. If you do bad on the test, you do bad in the class.
Yeah.
So you have to study and prepare for those big things like tests and essays that make up your whole grade, basically.
All right, we have another question from the audience. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But we do have another question from the audience. Mr. Michael Anderson.
For those of you that live in a dorm, what is it like?
Ooh.
Dorm life.
I can answer that one. I live in a dorm.
For me, like I live in a double mini suite. It sounds fancy, and it is. But like, yeah. So for me, I live with 1 roommate, and then I have 2 suite mates, and we share a bathroom. And I live in one of the newer like dorm buildings in Unit 1, and I love it. Like every week we get our bathroom cleaned for us. It's not like this everywhere, but like, and I love my floor. Like the first week, we had all our doors open. We all got to know each other. But like having suite mates and having roommates, I like it because there's always someone to come like home to and like tell about those little things. But I like living in a dorm. It's fun.
Yeah, if you have a chance when you go to college, if you have a chance to live on campus, I would definitely recommend it, because similar to Andrea, I live in a suite, but it's 10 of us girls that share a bathroom and like a common area. And so that's just super nice. And even though I'm in a single, like I don't technically have a roommate, we still, like Andrea said, we all keep our doors open, and we're all living together. And so it's fun to be able to live with your friends, because you just naturally make friends with the people that you're living with. And so it's a lot of fun to study with them and just, hey, does anyone want to go eat? That kind of thing. It's just a lot of fun.
I personally hate my dorms. UCLA is like a hill, and I live at the top of the hill. And a lot of people, when they ask me, oh, where do you live? Oh, I live in Hitch. They have no idea where that is, because no one goes to the top of the hill. It's just, no one does. And I have a triple suite, so I have 2 roommates, and then I share a common room with 3 other people. And we haven't really made any friends, so we kind of just hang out with each other, because we don't go through a hall or anything. There's no dorm activities for ours because it's a 2nd and 3rd year dorm. So personally, I just like my housing situation. But
For me, I live in a dorm. If you live in a dorm with RAs and stuff, they put for first years they put on a ton of programs for you, and honestly, take advantage of those, because you're not going to get them like the following years. So like we went to San Francisco, they paid for us to go on BART and all that stuff. So take advantage of that.
Can you guys talk about the pros and cons of the traditional dorm long hallway sharing bathrooms compared to the suite style?
People will leave hair everywhere.
Oh my god. One of our showers overflowed one morning because of hair. And it was horrible. Worst morning ever.
I also live in like a suite style. It's like me and my roommate, and we both like have our own little room and the doors closed, and we have like a shared bathroom and common room. And it's really great because I can, like on the days that he doesn't have class till noon and I have class at like 10:30, like it's perfect because I can get up and get ready in my room and like still play music quietly and like get in my rhythm and whatnot, and still be able to do that how I want to do it.
Yeah, I think if you have the opportunity to live in a suite as opposed to a traditional residence hall, you should definitely take advantage of it, because the best thing about not having to share a bathroom with 40 people is not having to share a bathroom with 40 people.
For sure.
So how much control do you guys have over your roommates?
I had 0 control.
I think if you, like at Berkeley, if you request someone and they request you, you'll be roommates. But there was no one that like, I don't know, I mean, like no offense, Andrea. Andrea has a roommate. So
I didn't-
I was like, not Andrea. If she requested me, I'd be like, delete Facebook status. No, like, so I don't know, like you can have control over who you're, like what dorm you're in, like what room you're in, and stuff like that, because it'll give you like it'll say like what unit do you want, or like do you want a double or a triple or something like that. So stuff like that. But
I know for my suite mates, they live like 20 minutes away from Berkeley, and they went to the same high school, and they requested each other, so they live in the same room. But for my roommate, like I didn't get a request her or anything.
Primarily, it's luck of the draw. I requested someone from CO, and we didn't get it, but I know a lot of people that did, and especially with the dorm building too, because you're a freshman, they don't really care where they put you.
No.
I requested a residence hall, and they gave me a suite.
Yeah, I requested through their little like Facebook thing. I met a guy, my roommate now, who likes baseball, loves sports, and so I requested him because we're gonna be like great roommates. And so yeah, we're great roommates now.
Yeah,
and so
I
I
love
think
my
if there's that little like Facebook thing, some people are like, oh, don't use that, like that's like weird or whatever. But I would say use it because that's how I found my roommate. And then also I would met people that I'm like, hey, I saw you on Devil to Devil. Like it's kind of nerdy, but it's cool.
Yeah, I got lucky. I love my roommate. She's awesome.
My roommate,
Yeah.
she lives in Folsom, so it was kind of nice, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask the question. Everyone's wondering, Tyler, how's the food at Fresno?
Everybody hates on it a ton, and they're just like, oh, this sucks. RDH sucks, man. Not RDH. And I'm just like, I don't even care, man. I eat hot dogs all the time. We have pizza like every like Monday or Sunday. I can't remember. Sunday, Mondays, there's ice cream, and I put a bunch of sprinkles on it. I don't know. I like it. I really don't care. I drink root beer every night. I love root beer, so I don't even care. But sometimes the entrees suck, though. I hate those. I don't even eat them, but.
I have a question for Tyler. What's your favorite food in college now?
My favorite food in college? I don't know. Am I supposed to say top ramen? I don't like it that much. It's pretty yeah, I don't know. Like everyone's like, top ramen, man.
Typical college.
I don't think it changed that much. I eat a lot of spicy chicken nuggets because we live kind of by Wendy's. I eat more quesadillas. I started liking wings since college. That's cool. We have a wing stop, and I'll go there whenever the Clippers play. Or
That's cool.
yeah, and I get hype about wing nights, and yeah, I don't know. I like wings.
All right, guys, top 5 things you need in your dorm to make it manageable.
Rice
Tori?
cooker.
Rice cooker?
My,
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
Yeah.
my roommate brought a rice cooker, and I didn't think I was gonna need it, but it's saved me during finals week.
I don't think I would need it.
I would say mini fridge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
microwave. You can get both of those, like you are set. Like, oh man. and
Mattress
cereal.
pad. Yeah. Mattress pad. Get a mattress pad.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
mattress
because it will make your bed so much more comfortable.
My
Yeah,
friends
I love
come
my
in and
bed.
sleep on my bed because they think it's so comfortable. So it's
Also,
That's
it's
a
really
weird
nice
thing.
to have
Yeah.
a printer, because like even though they'll say
practical.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can
Yeah, I
you can
don't
print like you can print in the
Oh, yeah.
library, you can print.
yeah.
There's places available on campus to print. It's nice to be able to print in your room.
for sure.
A Brita. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
use
yeah.
it, but Brita, like, you don't have a chance to get like cases of water, and a little Brita filter. I think it's kind of cool. We have 3 of them.
Right? You're super bougie.
Water's gross.
I
have one. Brita filter.
I have a Brita filter.
That is
What else?
All right, we have another live studio question from Peter, right? Peter again. So Peter, what do you have to say?
What's the rough monthly cost of living in college?
Oh, this is why I hate college.
It's a little pricey.
For me, I live in a suite. It's the oldest building at UCLA, and I pay around, I think, $1,300 a month. It's not
Wait.
ideal.
Do you say $1,300 a month? Oh, that sucks, man. I feel like
But I
700.
think
Oh,
honestly,
wait.
it's cheaper to live off campus. Like, I mean, I don't recommend it for your first 2 years, but it's cheaper to live off campus because then because I don't know, like for Berkeley, the tuition per semester is like $15,000 each. I think about, and then like that's also. But I think if you live off campus, it goes down like what, to like 25,000. It goes down. So living off campus could help, but
And
it's a lot.
It also depends on the school, how much it is. Some schools are more expensive than others, and some schools are cheaper than others. And usually it's not per month, it's per semester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the fall semester, for me, it's $6,000 for the fall semester for my room, which they don't do it monthly. They do it for the semesters, and different schools are different prices. So you should, whatever school you're interested in, look into that on your interested school's website.
I think location matters too, because I live in Fresno, guys, which is not actually the most desired place to live in California. I know, right? And Ryan lives in UCLA, so that might have to do it. Nick lives in, I don't know where Pepperdine is, but I've Google imaged it a couple of times. It seems like a pretty good location.
Just to admire it.
Compared to Fresno, which is just like, it's just like Fresno.
Yeah, it's location.
It's the armpit of California, right?
I would say Bakersfield. I don't know. Bakersfield sucks more than us. We're kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so can you guys tell us about study abroad a little bit? Are you guys planning on going, or what are you guys planning on doing with that?
I'm planning on studying abroad. I want to go to Spain. I'm too lazy to be a Spanish minor, so I should probably hop on that and get in some Spanish classes.
Yeah.
But my brother studied abroad. I haven't, obviously. And he went to China, and he loved it. So I don't know. I heard it's awesome. So shut up. But he said he loved it, so he's highly recommended it. So I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I'm studying abroad next year.
Are you really?
Yeah, for the entire year.
What?
In Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm gonna habla español all the time. Yeah.
That's terrible.
No, speaking Spanish is fun.
Wait, for a whole year?
No, I mean
the academic year, so from
conjugation.
August to April.
But still.
And the cool thing for me is that for Pepperdine Study Abroad program, financial aid carries over, and it's the same price, tuition, room, and board, as going here. So it's exactly the same price for me to study abroad as it is for me to go to college.
I actually can't study abroad because I'm doing a bachelor's, master's program in 4 years, but living in Phoenix, Arizona is pretty close to Mexico. So I'm studying abroad, for 4 years.
Madrid.
So for college, Macs or PCs, which ones seem to work better for you guys?
I like Macs.
Hey, but get Microsoft Word, because honestly,
Yeah.
Microsoft Word is so much
I don't know
more
how it
advantageous.
works or whatever, but you can't get documents on Macs on a PC sometimes or something. I don't really know how it works or something. So teachers are like, I can actually open your assignment, Tyler. I was like, come on, guys. And then I get mad. But then some kid, I don't know, he just hooked me up with Word one time, and ever since, it's just been that much easier for me.
Word.
For on my Mac, for UC Berkeley, they gave us Word and stuff for free, all of that. So.
Yeah,
What?
a lot of
Yeah.
colleges give discounts.
Yeah, a lot of
also.
they just have this little download code, and you go and you get it. We got Photoshop, we got
That's so cool.
stuff.
Photoshop?
Yeah.
Go to Berkeley.
How many of you guys have jobs in college? Any of you guys? Is it hard juggling them? I mean, how is
I had
that?
a job. Shoot.
It can kill your free time, but I love my job. I work from usually around 3 to 11, and I just study. I'm in the mailroom.
I loved, because since I was a spring admit for Berkeley, which I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but that is a thing. So if you apply to Berkeley, you may get admitted for the spring. Wait, it's worth it. So I chose to work at CalFit while I was here, and it was the best decision I ever made. Because first one, I closed at CalFit all the time, which means I worked till midnight or 12:30. So until then, I just chilled, do my homework, and that kind of became my community. And so I don't know about working at college, but when I was working during school and stuff, yeah, it was hard to juggle sometimes, but I don't know, it becomes your community. It's a great way to meet friends and get out there and stuff. Especially if you have a secretarial type job, people walk by, you can talk to them, holler at them, even if they don't see you, it's okay. So I don't know, it was really cool. So I recommend it.
So what do you know about the sororities and fraternities on campus?
They're huge. Greek life is pretty big at UCLA. I was pledging for a frat, Pi Kappa Alpha, for a little bit, but I had a DP because of my job. But while I was pledging, it was fun to me. It gave you something to do. I met a lot of people. I'm still in contact with them.
I'm actually in a sorority called Zeta Tau Alpha. Technically, it's a fraternity because we don't have a brother, whatever. But it's actually a brand new chapter at UC Berkeley. I actually didn't go through formal rushing the first week, but so it's brand new. So we're founding members of the chapter at Cal. But there's different chapters at different schools. But I haven't gotten to do a lot with them yet. But I think I'm gonna enjoy it when I do.
And I think even if you're not interested in being in Greek life, you should rush anyways, because you get to meet new people. And I mean, I got free food every single night.
Free food.
And there's so much free stuff during rush, which is when you're meeting different fraternities.
During rush, I think I got chicken and waffles one night and a fully loaded pizza the next.
Yeah. And the fraternities will take you places, but it's free because they're trying to get people to join the fraternities. and it's like all paid for, and you get free food. And I mean, who doesn't love free food, especially in college?
Yeah.
Free
When
food's
there is
great.
none.
All right, so all right, at UCs are known for having people from all over the world. Have you guys met any strange people? Any people from different places?
UCLA is actually like the centerfold for international students. So I've met people from Korea, a lot of Koreans actually. China. My roommate is actually from Argentina, but he's Korean, and yeah, and so, but a lot of Europeans too. And it's really interesting to like all these cultures come together. So I wouldn't say there's one set like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of person at UCLA. Everyone's from a different area.
We
they
have
all kind of stick together.
We have a ton of students. Actually, just on my floor, we have like 4 students from India, like just on my floor. And then we had this board, of, like where people were writing hello, and there's like hi in a bunch of different languages because there's like just so many types of people there, and it's awesome.
But you said weird thing. I noticed in my hall or suite. Dorm building. When you do laundry, make sure you use soap because I notice internationals don't use soap. As weird as that sounds, they smell really bad. So use soap, guys.
Well, now we know how he feels.
All right, guys, this question is for all of you guys. If you could go back 4 years from now, what would you give freshman you for advice? Tyler, you start.
I actually didn't know the answer to that. When you said that, I was trying to think of my own answer. Do anything you want to do in high school. Actually, like, do it. Like, I don't know, because there's things thinking loud. I was like, oh, dang, why did I do that? But then, yeah, if I go back, I would do those things that I want to do now. But now it doesn't really matter. I don't care.
I would tell myself, freshman year, I would tell myself not to date because none of that ever worked out. So.
That's a good one.
Academically, though, like, I don't know, I was pretty good. So.
I'd have to agree with Ciarra. Don't get into a relationship until maybe after college.
Yeah. Well, not during college, but not your freshman year of high school. That's all I'm saying. It just kind of crumbles within a week, so whatever. I'm fine.
You're like emotionally affected. Just crying over here. Stop.
Ben, do you have any good advice that you would give yourself?
Good advice. Let me think.
There's no good advice at all.
I would say, well, we already talked about APs. Challenge yourself in high school. Just because it's going to pay off in the end. When I ended up going to ASU, I was like looking back and thinking, oh, well, I worked all this and I'm going to ASU. Like, it's not the most prestigious university. But then I realized that there were higher requirements to get into Cronkite, the journalism school. There were higher requirements to get into Barrett, the honors college. So it was all worth it in the end.
I would tell myself to get a job during the summer. Like, not be lazy. I don't know. But it's good for, like, I know a lot of people now, they have, like, jobs, and that's awesome. So,
yeah, something to keep in mind, too, is that the habits that you develop early on carry over. And so it's going to be really hard. Like, if you're slacking in high school, it's going to be hard to kick it up when you're in college. So make sure that you challenge yourself and that you're, keeping up with your grades and doing well in high school because then that'll carry over into college, too.
Yeah, there's a guy that lives like on the floor above me. He's like, oh, I just went through high school and never studied. It was like, oh, I studied all the time, and that's honestly helped me so much in college because like when I need to study, it's not something like huge for me. Like it's just something I was used to, so that really helped.
And like people get behind units freshman year, like freshman year in high school, like some people already start failing classes, and then like they can't their AP classes can't do anything because they're already a class they need to make up, and with budget cuts continually and our economy getting worse, like. There's not going to be summer school for you to make that up, so you really have to like put it all on the line.
I'd say stay ambitious. I mean, set goals for yourself and just kind of. So like 4 years ago, I had no idea where I'd end up. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about college. Thought just go through high school, but just set goals for yourself. I'd say that's the best thing.
Ashley.
Do everything that I would have wanted to do, that I wanted to do, that I didn't do, to just do it. So. Because, I mean, you miss out on a lot of opportunities, and I think, I mean, if you feel like doing something and your friends say it's lame, you should still do it just because it's something you want to do, and go to college.
Yeah. I know I'm going to regret this, but Nick, any last...
Last words?
Wait, what? No joke.
Oh, like advice for myself?
Yeah, advice.
Oh, well, I mean...
That's good.
You don't
Advice.
have
That's
anything?
good advice.
It was like telekinetic device.
He ended up, Danny
He did
still
everything
regretted
he
it.
wanted to.
God.
Thank you, Nick. I'm very glad. All right, well, that's all. I'd like to thank our panel. I'd like to thank our live audience, and I would like to thank you guys for watching. Remember, I'm Danny Klinenberg, and on behalf of all of us here at Wolfpack TV, have a great day.